Well, it's about a day and a half later now. I had the battery bank connected up to the portable solar charge controller. I started running it down, discharging it, using some 12-volt lamps and things like that. Got it down to where the solar charge controller could no longer find it, which means the battery was almost dead. And this is what we got right now. I've taken it back apart. I have put it all in parallel, and I have slowly been dropping it down as close to 3 volts as I could get it. And I've got it down to 3.9 according to that. I've got it down to 3.8 according to my big Innova multimeter. So what I'm trying to do is bottom balance this. They're all in parallel, so they're all the exact same voltage. So bottom balancing, I don't know how important that is. I built 5 or 6 different packs, and only one of those did I ever bottom balance by running them all the way down to 3 volts and then putting it back together as a pack and then balance charging it back up. I really can't tell any difference between the one that I did bottom balance and the other ones that I didn't. So I don't know how important it is, but I thought I'd go ahead and do it to this one, and I have. 3 volts is just about dead. 3 volts is dead, and we're just about there. Some people say to bottom balance to go all the way down to 2.75 volts, or even down to 2.5 volts. And in fact, some of the specs say that to do that. So I don't know. That's kind of getting close to damaging your batteries, I think. But I'm good here. So it's going to take me some time. It's going to take me another week to get back to this because I'm out of time now. And when I come back next week, I will put this pack back together in series, make a 12-volt battery out of it, and do the soldering and add the balance cable and all that good stuff. But for you, it's going to be in 3, 2, 1. And presto, just like that, it's a whole week later. So I've had the cells stored in here for the last week. I had them all disconnected from each other. Now they're all back in parallel. And I'm showing 2.98 volts. And it's kind of jumping around because I'm dealing with voltage sag. When I first checked them out on Saturday, they were 3.32 volts. And they were pretty much all the same, so there wasn't much difference, just a tenth or two. And then I connected up my little meter here, and it started bringing them back down because they're very dead. But the voltage sag is kind of an issue. I'd expect if I just leave them like this for a while, a couple hours, it's going to go up to over 3 volts. But I'm okay with this. It's going to work. It is what it is. So they're basically dead, and that's what I wanted. They're just slightly under 3 volts right now. So it's time to now put together a pack and begin doing some soldering. Alright, I've got a 100-watt solar panel in my window. It's a Grape solar panel. So it's not picking up anything right now because the sun's just getting ready to come up off to the east there. There's the panel in the window. It'll get some direct sunlight for a few hours this morning. This rose is kind of in the way, but I think I'm going to leave it anyway. So I've got everything set up here. My soldering iron. I got a balance cable. I've got the 2 leads, the hot and negative. I'm going to use some of that 5 amp fuse wire to make all the connections. I'm just about to start soldering this up. And then I'm going to connect it up to the solar panel and bring it up like that instead of connecting it up to the iMax and balance charging it. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Taking a dead battery and charging it fully up with the solar panel through the solar charge controller. I want to see how how these cells, if these cells stay balanced, because right now they're all very nicely balanced, perfectly balanced. But I'm just curious to see what's going to happen, what my solar charge controller will do to that today as it's charging up. Okay, well that went extremely fast. I didn't have any problems. I got my power and my negative lead connected up. I've connected up my balancing cable, and apparently correctly, because I've plugged in my capacity controller. I've already set it on Lion, so now it's on. It's really hard to see. This is the total voltage right here, 9.129, and if we connect the ANOVA up, which I can't really do one-handed, see what it says. It should be very, very similar. Let's see here. 9.8, so it's dropping pretty quick. Yeah, so I've got a 12-volt battery now. It's dead. It needs to be charged up, but I got a 12-volt battery. It's got 1% power in there. Unplug my soldering iron, and so now I can flip through the cells. So it's on total voltage right now, and that's cell number 1, 3, little over 3 volts. Cell 2 is 29.86. Cell 3 is 3, just a little over 3 volts. Go back to this, to the total. So something that I didn't know for a really long time. The capacity controller will also balance your battery. So if the one you buy is capable of it, you just hold down, type, and there we go. It's actually balancing. It's going between cell 1, 2, and 3, and then it goes back, and it's actually slowly balancing. Now it's went to total because it says it's all balanced. Well, according to the numbers, it's really not, but anyway, it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that. And there we are. We got our battery hooked up to the solar charge controller, and we're hooked up to the panel, which is now getting some sun. It's not very strong sun right now, but it was exactly 9 volts. The solar charge controller was just barely able to find it, and already we're kicked up to 9.2 volts. Well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning now, and I'm just starting to lose sun coverage on my solar panel. Okay, well, the battery bank sat on the solar charge controller for about 6 hours, and I'm up to 11.3 volts total. That's not fully charged, but that's not too bad. What I really was questioning today was, how is the balance? Well, the balance is really good. There is cell number 1, 3766, cell number 2, 3764, and cell number 3 is 3776. That's perfectly balanced. I'm very shocked. So this thing is in very good condition. So the next thing to do is to take and wrap the ends where all the exposed circuits are, and I'm going to have myself a 12-volt battery all ready to use. So now I need to do my research, and I need to come up with a plan to build the power banks and everything I need. So it's going to be a while, and I don't know if I'll actually use this battery bank to do that, or if I'll use some of those older cells. But coming soon will be my attempt to build my own power banks. Thanks for watching.